Okay, good morning, everyone. It's about 30 seconds until 9 a.m. We are here for our regularly scheduled Commissioners Court meeting. It'll be our first meeting in February, today the 11th. And like I said, it is just about 9 o'clock. We do have a quorum present, so let's stand for our prayer and pledge and we'll get started. Dear Father in heaven, whose might is all over the earth, we thank you for the love you show us. We also thank you for everything that seems hard, but which you change into help and strength. We want to thank you in life and in death, in joy and sorrow, for you are the great, mighty God who calls us to life again and again, and who leads us to a fuller life. You have given us great love in Jesus Christ, our Savior. He shall always be before our eyes and remain in our hearts. Through him we can cry out in joy, Abba, Father, dear friend. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Item number 5, citizens to be heard. Do we have anybody signed up to speak this morning, Mrs. Sweezy? None? All right, then we're going to move to item number 6. Discuss, approve, disapprove, approve and appoint Danny Denson to the Karnes County Emergency Services District Number 1 Board of Directors. Charlie's not here, but Danny is here. This is due to a vacancy that we had on the board. Talked to Charlie a couple of times over the last couple of months, and they've come together and have nominated Mr. Danny Denson to serve on that board for District Number 1.
Make the motion to approve item number 6 as presented.
I'll second it. Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Danny, I know that you got to get, but you're more than welcome to stay. I'll get that oath and we'll get you sworn in. What time are you leaving? At noon? Okay, just call me. Thank you, and thank you for serving. Item number 7 is discuss, approve, disapprove funding regarding the Sheriff's Department and CRCS, Camino Real, Karnes County Community Response Team. Ms. Doris Morales, come on up and, oh, Deanne, Ms. Poppy is going to talk to us about it.
Maybe all of us. Good morning. I just wanted to inform you all that Camino Real has been the recipient of a grant from Health and Human Services for a Karnes County Community Response Team. And so it is in the amount of around $450,000. And the co-response team is a team of behavioral health professionals and law enforcement officers that would do some co-response to reduce recidivism and divert individuals in need of acute psychiatric healthcare from, it's diverting them from jails so that they're not in the jail where they don't need to be and getting the help that they need, either in the community. In one of our facilities in Lytle, we have a facility that has an extended observation unit that can take emergency detention orders, as well as a crisis residential unit where they can stay for up to 14 days on a voluntary basis. So I will let Steve address what it is that we're asking for.
And just for the court's knowledge and for the folks out there, I met with Camino Real, what was that, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they brought this before me. It's something that I wanted to bring before the court. Steve, I'm going to let you get into the details and talk to the court, okay?
Morning. So today, what we've come asking for is equipment that we need to put in the unit, such as a radio, the mobile unit for the unit itself, and then a handheld for the deputy that's assigned to this project. Also, because how technology goes, they're going to need an in-car video system and a body cam. So used to back in the day, when I started 30 years ago, we didn't have that. You know, it was VHS tapes. But nowadays, and there's laws saying, CCP, saying we have to have this in the vehicle. So that's why we're asking you if you would please approve this item in front of you. I mean, technology isn't cheap, unfortunately. So, you know, any questions?
What's the total cost that y'all are asking for?
What we're looking at, and this is the price I got from the chief deputy, so for the handheld radio and mobile radio is 17,000. And then the body cam and the in-car, which I believe they are connected, the system, and that's the trend that you're seeing with this kind of equipment, that's $12,838. So grand total,
29,838,
yes, sir.
just under 30,000.
And so is this a vehicle that y'all purchased?
Yes.
The one y'all donated?
We donated the vehicle to Camino. They have a vehicle that we donated to them.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
so we're putting that to use in this project. It's got a partition, we just need communications and the video equipment, so that way we're in compliance when we have the deputy assigned to the project. Right now, we're current on staff, they're in training. So, as soon as we get a deputy, a mental health officer, this project's going to be up and running. They'll be taking calls, and this is a Karnes County asset. We don't have this asset in our other counties yet.
And so that vehicle stays here, like it stays at the sheriff's office and?
The clinic, it's been between the clinic and the sheriff's office, yes, sir.
Okay. And then as far as the purchasing of the camera, the body camera, the in-car camera and the radio, does that go through the sheriff's office? Is that something that they do or do they assist or is it?
It'll go
completely
through
different?
them. It is their equipment that'll be installed in the unit. And my understanding is at the end of this project, it will still be SO equipment. It'll be the sheriff's office equipment, so we'll have it removed, turned over. Or if we get an extension on the project, it could stay in there and still be of use. But that equipment, the radio, the handheld, the in-car, and the body cam, that is all sheriff's office equipment. It will be.
So they'll figure out which, I guess, type or product to get, I mean, to match up with the rest of the ones? that we have?
Yes, sir. They've already got that, so this is staying in line with their equipment that they've been ordering.
That'll come out of the sheriff's department's budget.
That's what I was gonna ask Tom. Tom, where would this be coming out of? Okay, we still have.
I don't think that it needs to come out of the sheriff's department. It'll have to come out of I mean, this is not something that we foresaw coming when they were awarded the grant. And so, we're already stressed on the SO budget as it stands right now.
So we can consider this unforeseen and put it on a contingency? Okay.
Yes, sir. Please. Any other questions?
I have some questions, and I apologize. I'm the new guy, so I'm still learning our relationship with Camino Real.
Okay.
But, I was looking for the interlocal agreement, and the only one I can find is from 2000. Is that the most up-to-date interlocal agreement that we have with Camino Real?
Yes, sir, that is the most current, and it renews every year unless someone chooses to terminate that interlocal agreement.
And it's still for 9 counties in
Yes,
this one?
the 9 counties, 9 original counties are still the counties that we are in the interlocal agreement with, that's correct.
In there, it talks about local matching funds may include in-kind contributions. Last year, we gave $43,000 to Camino Real.
Yes, sir.
Will this $29,838 be considered part of an in-kind donation?
It will. So on this grant, we do have a 25% match that we have to come up with. So the $29,000 and the value of the vehicle that you all donated will be used as match on this grant, and then Camino Real will come up with the rest. And it will probably be like office space or something like that we already pay for out of another source of funds. But that is what we would use the $29,000 for. Yes.
The deputy that's going to be driving this vehicle, are they a Camino employee or are they sheriff's?
No, sir, we will be contracting with the sheriff's department, and so it will be a sheriff's department employee.
Okay.
This vehicle that y'all have, to put this money into that vehicle, what year model is that vehicle and how many miles does it have?
I can't recall. Do you know,
It
Doris?
has 6,000 miles on it right now, but it's a 2022, 23? I'm not sure on the year right now,
I believe it's a
but
22.
it's a 6,000 miles are on.
6,000? Okay.
Yes.
I have another question. Back when I was looking for the interlocal agreement, it talks about each community center will annually provide each local agency, that would be the Commissioner's Court, with an approved budget and the most recent annual financial audit. Has the court been presented that anytime recently?
I don't know that it comes to the court. I believe they get sent to Judge Headkey.
I'll have to check if that's the one that we just got.
We just had our financial audit done,
Okay,
so you may have
that's
just
the one
received
that I
that.
got like day before you, like maybe late last week or even
Yeah.
Monday. Do you remember when that came in, Michelle? Friday?
Yeah, it was just approved at our last board meeting, so.
No, I've got that, Commissioner.
Okay. I believe that's all the questions I have.
Anything else?
I'll make the motion to approve item number 7 as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Good
Thank
show.
you.
Thank
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, item number 8, discuss, approve, disapprove Falls City ISD memorandum of understanding for 2 school resource officers. Sheriff Bailey.
Okay, so this is the memorandum of understanding for 2 school officers in Falls City on how we operate with the school system. It's a standard agreement that the other schools in the county use. So do you have any questions on it?
Give the court and the public the breakdown on how that works, please, Sheriff. Scott.
Turn it over to the chief deputy. He's been working on it for me.
And Scott, talk into the mic so everybody can hear you.
All right.
Chief.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So the way the MOU works is basically it's a contract between the city of, Falls City ISD and the county. The Falls City ISD will pay 75% of the deputy salary, where the county will pay 25%. And that is throughout the year. They keep the 75% of what the deputy works. So if they're working like overtime that they request there, they want them to be at the school earlier to the end, they're going to be paying for that salary. Also part of the MOU is a vehicle purchase. With the equipment, they pay 75% of that vehicle, and of course, the county pays 25%. So it's a split cost of the vehicle also, so we're out of money, but they're paying 75% for the deputy spots and the vehicle spots, so.
So basically the same as Karnes City?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So does that vehicle, does that come back to the sheriff's office? In other words, if y'all need to use it on patrol, can y'all use it on patrol?
Yes, so basically what they do is, once they get to the school, they have their set time to have to be here. They have holidays for schools, they have the summers off. So during those holiday breaks, the summer, they're gonna be patrolling the county, acting as a deputy. So they're not just at the school during summer, sitting there, doing whatever. They're gonna be in the county patrolling and giving back to the community.
That's good.
I'll move we approve the Falls City ISD memorandum of understanding for 2 school resource officers.
I'll second it.
I have some discussion, sir, that I would like to bring up. I have some concerns about the agreement. I have voiced these concerns to all the individuals involved so far, but I want everyone to know how I feel, and I want you gentlemen to understand why I will say these things. My first concern is going to be just about the term. First page is blank. Chief, what date are we going to put on this?
So the way it works is, if this passes the Commissioner's Court, then I got to present this to the school board, Falls City ISD, make sure they agree to it. Once they agree to it, then the parties on the last page, which will be the superintendent, school board president, the judge, and the sheriff will sign the MOU.
How long will the initial term be?
It'd be a year.
1-year term.
And then, so basically, if you go to the year and both parties aren't agreeing to the contract, it goes month to month until you renew it, or you decide to terminate it, and that's a 90-day notice to terminate.
Okay. There's some key points in here that I'd like to just point out. The county agrees to assign 2 Karnes County Sheriff's Office police officers. The Sheriff's Department shall designate and assign a qualified Sheriff's Department administrative officer licensed by TCOL. Chief, you said you were going to act as that administrator, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Sheriff's Department will provide the SROs with the same enforcement equipment, uniforms, and vehicle that are available to other officers of the Sheriff's Department, correct? The Sheriff's Department will maintain and service all equipment used by the SROs. So it'll be the county's responsibility to maintain all this equipment that we provide, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Sheriff's Department will also provide a fully equipped patrol car for each SRO. And in previous discussions, we talked, that's about a $100,000 vehicle, correct?
Yeah,
When you
we'll
have
just call it
fully
100. It's a little less.
It says, the Sheriff's Department shall be responsible for funding all training and all costs related to said training in areas deemed necessary by the Sheriff's Department.
Correct. And if you go on, it talks about the training that's necessary for school. The school will be paying for that.
The SROs will be assigned to their home campus on a full-time basis. So we expect that these officers will be working at the school most of the time. That, they have a 40-hour work week, and a typical work is, did you say 82 or 84 hours for a 2-week period?
Typical, so county says 80 hours. Our patrol deputies are doing about 84, I believe, in a
84?
2-week period.
So most of this time, these deputies will be providing all of their time to the school, except for maybe summer break or Christmas break and Thanksgiving break. Let's see. Time spent by the SROs attending training or court arising out of their employment and duties shall be considered as hours worked under this agreement. I like that, but I'm going to get into it quickly. The part that bothers me the most, I apologize. I think this is good for the county. I think all schools need school resource officers, and it is the responsibility of these schools to provide that school resource officer. This interlocal agreement is a mirror image of what Karnes City has, and I believe we kind of just modified it to work for us. The issue I have is that City of Karnes City is paying the other 25%. So Karnes City ISD pays for 75% of the cost related to this SRO. The City of Karnes City pays for the other half, or the other 25%, I'm sorry. So essentially, all dollars spent to pay for this SRO come from people who are paying taxes for Karnes City or for Karnes City ISD. I'm representing the people of Precinct 1, and they are from Kennedy ISD. Kennedy ISD has a very similar agreement. Kennedy ISD pays 75% for their SRO, and then Kennedy pays the other 25%. I envision a large bucket of money here that the county has. All people in Karnes County pay county taxes, and if we follow this agreement, 25% of the money that's going to pay for these school resource officers is going to be coming from all people of the county. If that's what it takes to protect our children, okay, but I don't think it's fair to my constituents that they are paying 100% of their SRO, but Fall City ISD will not be. So county shall provide the SRO with all wages, salaries, or other compensation and benefits. The county shall also be directly responsible for the payment of all payroll taxes, bond cost, retirement contributions, overtime, Social Security taxes, if any, and all payroll expenses. Fall City ISD agrees to pay, as consideration for the service provided, 75% of the total salary and benefit cost. Sheriff's Department SROs assigned to the Fall City ISD pursuant to the agreement, the yearly amount will be prorated, reflected the time for which the officer is providing services to Fall City ISD. The way I read that, if they don't work in the summer, the Fall City won't pay for that. That's fine by me. Let's utilize those deputies. But the county will issue invoices to Fall City ISD reflecting the district's 75% share of the SRO's salary and benefits. So the chief will be spending administrative time tracking these hours and then submitting those bills. These are costs to the county that aren't being reimbursed. At no time may the county receive a profit under the terms of this agreement. Okay, that's fine. We're not here trying to make money on SROs, but it's kind of limiting us. I would feel much better if it said 100% of the total salary and benefits and employment cost of the Sheriff's Department SRO shall be paid by Fall City ISD. So please let me check. So the district is going to be getting 2 SROs and 2 vehicles. The district agrees that they will pay for 75% of a vehicle. If we have to purchase 2 new $100,000 vehicles, they're willing to pay $75,000 apiece, and then we have to maintain those vehicles. If they break down, we're going to be fixing them. I believe that if the vehicle is going to be used primarily for Fall City ISD, they should be reimbursing at least 100% of the purchase cost. If the sheriff's department then pays for the maintenance and upkeep of the vehicle, that could be considered part of the trade-off where at the end of its life, we turn around and sell it at auction, we get a little bit out of it, we kind of get back the money that we had invested in maintenance. So it's not that I don't want SROs. I do want SROs. I just want Fall City to be held accountable for paying for their school resource officers, just as the people of Kennedy are.
Right, I understand. So you also have to understand that you're talking about Karnes City and Kennedy, but there are residents in the county that go to those schools too, so it's kind of hard to say 100%.
Well, yes, I live in the county. I pay Karnes City ISD school taxes.
Correct.
But I do not live in Karnes City, so I'm not paying Karnes City school taxes. So I am paying for a portion of the SRO at Karnes City ISD, and then the rest of that 25% is coming from people who pay Karnes City taxes. So I live in that school district, so I'm paying a portion of that. The people who live in Kennedy ISD are paying for 100% of their SRO.
Right. So, and then again, we have to understand that I am tasked with providing security for the entire county, and that's part of it.
I commend you for that. I really appreciate your efforts to protect our county. I really do.
Commissioner Beatrick visited with me about this a little bit yesterday in passing, and I explained to him that potentially that Kennedy and Karnes City as municipalities both have PDs, police departments, that generate income for that municipality, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Fall City, Runge, they do not. Runge has its own thing going on, which, we're not privy to, I guess. But Fall City does not have a PD that generates any of that income that could potentially fund like Karnes City and Kennedy do. So,
Yes, they do not.
any other discussion? Commissioner Beatrick? Commissioner Lissy, do you have a motion?
Yes,
Would you please restate that in the microphone?
yes. Agenda item number 8. I move that we approve the Fall City ISD Memorandum of Understanding for 2 school resource officers.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed?
I oppose.
All right, motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Item number 9, discuss, approve, disapprove entering into a contractual agreement with Motorola for 39 body cameras and 29 in-car camera systems. Sheriff?
Okay, so again, I'm going to refer you to the chief deputy. He was tasked to work on this for me, and he'll have all the details for you.
All right, let me turn it over. All right, so currently the systems we have in place, we'll start with the in-car video system. They no longer make that in-car video system. They no longer maintenance it, and they no longer provide technical support. We had a guy come out that does install, potentially for the radios and stuff like that are coming up, that EMS has been helping us out with, and he kind of laughed at me when he saw that in-car camera system, like, what is this? They don't make this, they don't. And I can tell you that the recent ones that they ordered for the 3 brand new ones we have outfitted, they were purchased from eBay. So
Was it eBay or Temu?
no, it was eBay.
It was.
Yeah. So they were purchased through eBay, $400 for the whole in-car camera system, which you can buy a GoPro for that much. So that tells you what kind of system that is, and probably not secure, it's not safe. The body cams, same issue. The biggest issue with that is the downloading through the hard drives. All the hard drives are steady state hard drives. You have to plug it into a docking station which downloads it to it. To find a video with those, you have to go to that hard drive, go to a folder that has no name on it, it's just numbers. Click on it, the next folder you see is a month, date, so it's 1, 2, or 3, and so on. And then you click on that and look for the date. If you don't find the date for that incident, you got to back all the way out and go to the next folder. So that's how you find video on the current system.
How many hours did it take you on that open records request?
Yeah, so I had open record request, first time user trying to do it, it took me about 3.5, 4 hours to find body cam and in-car. The in-car was a little bit easier because it was an online system, but to download it, we had to, with IT's help, 3 or 4 different ways to try to download it, finally on the thing on the 4th time. I'm being generous.
And then we submitted those to the county attorney, and correct me if I'm wrong, but some of that was corrupted files that you couldn't, so it was useless after all that time.
So we'll talk about the new system now. So the new system is from Motorola. It's going to integrate well with our current or our soon-to-be radio system that we're putting in the car. It is expensive, as we know, but good things come with the price, right? So work with Motorola. They were really great to work with. They gave us a really hefty discount, as you see, of $208,000. Basically, what we're doing is the constables already got the Motorola body cam and in-car system. So we're tagging off the same account so we don't have the startup fees, the initial costs. It costs a lot of money to do the startup. So we're saving money there to just piggy bank off the same account, because why go to a different account when we're all county? So with this system, like you said, we're getting 39 body cams. Of those 39, 10 of those are going to be assigned to the jail. 29 in-cars are going to be assigned to the vehicles we currently have. So we're in the process of ordering 2 more vehicles. So what me and Sheriff decided was, for the meantime, instead of me and him getting the in-car in our vehicle like they should have had at the very beginning, we're going to move that over along with another vehicle for the other truck we're getting, hopefully. So that way we don't have that additional cost, and then we can do ours later down the road if we need to, or just simply do the body camera mount. But this system is great. It's all encrypted video. So basically the way it works is you have the in-car and camera system all one unit inside the vehicle. So when the deputy does a traffic stop, as soon as he turns his lights on and activates the in-car, activates your body cam. The front camera on it is your regular front view. It also has a panoramic view. It has an in-car camera in the back seat for where the defendant will go. It actually uses AI detection to, if you spot a person, get in the back seat, automatically record. So if you're just happen to turn your camera, you're outside, you put somebody in your back seat, it detects they're in your back seat and automatically turns on. With this also, it comes with a rear-facing camera. So that's going to protect the county in accidents if a car hits you from behind, or a deputy doesn't see a car coming up and gets hit. So that's going to benefit the county as well. But back to the body cam and in-car. So the body cam acts as a mic for the in-car system, so there's no more additional cost. I have a little mic you have to wear in your hip. Once you're doing the traffic stop and you're done, you can drop your body cam, it charges it, it syncs everything up, and it uploads it to the cloud with the encrypted data. So encrypted means it's very secure. It's going to be all cloud-based. It's going to use, again, we worked with IT, Sierra wireless modems, which gives it a lot better service to download. This stops the deputies from having to go to the office. So they can assume when we get farther down the road with the CAD systems and looking at that kind of stuff, they'll be able to get done with the call, do the reports in the field, upload their body cam and in-car in the field. There's no more wasting time at the office when they should be out in the streets and protecting the county. With this system, along with it, is, of course, the unlimited cloud service, all the uploads, the cloud-based system. Once you upload your video, you can go in there as a deputy and tag it. So traffic stop, were you working a burglary, blah, blah, blah. You can input the case number and save it. When it comes to submitting this to the DA's office, it has a secure share link. You can actually send the DA's office a secure share link, and they have the video instantaneously. There's no more having to spend money on the DVD. Now, if they still want to burn DVD, we can do that, but it's everything secured share. So it limits that capability too. Also, the problems of sharing the videos with the county attorney will go away. A good thing about this service also is it has live use function on it. So think of the Sierra Wireless as its constant good modem of your, it's a, not much trying to think, air card, but it's on steroids. It provides Wi-Fi for the vehicle too, so at a certain distance, your body cam will feed off of that Wi-Fi. The body cams are enabled to run off of AT&T if that's something we want to do later on, but right now we're not. But the way the live view works is, say if your deputy goes down, they can't reach him on the radio. After so long, you set parameters on it, it'll actually activate everybody's camera. So if a deputy's out on the east side of town and they're on the west side, it'll activate their camera system in their car, show a live video of where they're at. Dispatch, same thing. It pops up in dispatch, shows exactly where the deputy is. And this goes in effect of, too, if you're calling for the deputy on the radio and they're not answering, you can select live view and make sure that they're okay. Maybe they just have the radio turned down. So that's an added benefit. It does come with LPR, license plate reader software integrated in the camera already. So basically puts all your data in a bank to, let's say you're working a case and you need a vehicle. Well, you can get in that software, enter the license plate number, and anybody that has this system, Motorola system, it's been detected, it'll tell you the last known location you saw it at. So it helps with investigations also. Trying to think, what else? There's several more stuff I can go on and on about, but I don't know if you want me to keep talking.
The price breakdown was a total of $703,251.38. The total discount amount was $208,000, $208,020.25 for a grand total of $495,231.13. Is this on a breakdown 5-year plan?
This is a 5-year plan, yes, sir.
Can you explain that to the court, please?
So basically, the way they do it, if you don't have the initial upfront cost, you can't pay for this out of pocket right away, which most agencies can't. They break it down in a 5-year term. Working with them, I think y'all have the first sheet I sent, and then the second one, I actually have an additional one too. They've come down the price a lot working with us. They understand what we're going through. They understand we need this system. So the first initial cost will be $32,691.13. We're planning to pay for that with our asset forfeiture funds. The year 2, 3, 4, and 5 subscription will be $115,635, and we're planning to play with that with the Senate Bill 22 funds as we apply for it the following year. That's what we're budgeting for, hoping for, is how we're gonna pay for it. One thing I did forget to mention, at year 3, if they have a new body cam out, they will come take all your body cams and give you all the brand new year models that are out. That's part of the contract.
And so this is a purchase of these? Like, we're purchasing these?
Yeah,
or
so we're
not
just-
like a long-term lease?
It's a 5-year purchase just to make it a payment plan pretty much.
And after the 3 years, like after in 3 years, if they come in and replace them, after we purchase them, is there a discount if we turn those back in 3 more years and they have the newer version? And do we get a discount on upgraded technology?
So they're replacing at 3 year, if there's a new body cam, they're replacing that for free. We're not having to pay for
Right.
anything. They're coming in just,
But after we pay everything off, and let's say another 3 years has gone by, and there's newer stuff out there then,
that'll be up to us at that point.
but do they give you a break on price? Because
Casey, do you know if Motorola gets no? Not to his, okay. Sorry, he's an expert in Motorola, so.
Met with the sheriff and the chief about this, and I think it's wonderful. It's amazing, the features that it has on there. I think it reduces the liability on everyone, and it protects the officer and the constituents. I think it's wonderful. Thanks for all that hard work coming up with this. It's good.
Well, Commissioner Geisler and I toured the jail last week with Sheriff Bailey, and he showed us the condition and of the body cameras and the radios and everything, and I think it's a good deal.
Well, I think the transfer of data from that office to Ms. Tapia's office and whoever else is out there would be significantly upgraded, so.
Amazing.
I agree with everything that's been said here today. I've also got to tour the jail, and I was showed the equipment that we've been utilizing, and it is in disrepair. And the reason we're having to buy stuff off eBay is because you can't get this stuff from suppliers anymore. It needs to be done. And it is a lot of money, but I really commend the sheriff's office for the work they've done. They have negotiated over $200,000 in a discount for us, so that's great. I'm glad it's going to be paid out over 5 years. I appreciate that y'all are going to use forfeiture funds to pay this initial. So I think they're doing everything they can to make this as cost-effective for the county, and I think it's our duty to make sure they have the equipment they need. So I would like to make a motion to approve item number 8 as presented.
Nine.
Item number 9. That's
I'll second it.
9, I apologize. I want to approve item number 9 as presented.
And a second here, Commissioner
Yes.
Lissy. Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Item number 10, discuss, approve, disapprove to adopt the resolution regarding civil rights policies for the GLO Community Development Block Grant Mitigation, which is your CDBG-MIT Method of Distribution Program, and that is for contract number 24-064-115-E928. Introduce yourself to the court, please, young lady.
Yes, grant administrator guidance compliance for this grant. So this was awarded in January. It was an application we put in about last year. So these funds were distributed by the method of distribution, or the COG. There's no local attributed to it, so this is fully funded by the grant. And there are several startup agenda items in front of you today, and should you have any questions, I'm here.
Kat's here to answer questions.
That's it.
I read it's for a block grant, but what is this grant actually funding?
So the project itself is flood mitigation. So what was put in the application was for culverts and drainage in 3 different county roads. Hold on.
Commissioner Beatrick, just a little history on this. Our Road and Bridge Administrator, Mr. Giesler, Shelby, myself, this is something that's been ongoing for a while. Jim Adams helped plan, and we've identified within the county multiple low water crossings, bridges that need to be fixed, just a ton of things throughout the county. And when we apply for CDBG, MIT grants, these other grants, sometimes these grants are specific to low to moderate income areas. So we've identified places that are in low to mod income areas. We also have identified places that maybe this next grant comes up and that's not a requirement of that grant. So
Exactly.
we've identified, we have a whole map of the whole county, and Jim can probably, Mr. Adams can probably show you that. Mr. Giesler can too at some point. And, but we have these projects identified, so when these grants do come up, that, hey, we're ready to go, we're, you know, boots on the ground, shovel ready project. So this specifically is for, like Kat said,
County Road 184, County Road 207, and County Road 127. So again, a little bit of puzzle piece, you know, sure, this might be the one you want, but it doesn't fit into this project. So those were the ones that made the cut, if
Yeah.
you will.
What were those roads again?
184,
184, County Road 207, and County Road 127.
184, I think, is in Commissioner 1, 204 is in
207.
year 7 years, and then I think 120 is down in Commissioner Giesler's. Got to spread
Yes.
it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Commissioner Rosales. I'll get you.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 10 as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11 is discuss, approve, disapprove resolution designating authorized signatories for contractual and financial documents pertaining to the GLO Community Development Block Grant Mitigation, CDBG-MIT MIT Method of Distribution, MOD program, and that contract is number 24-065-115-E928. And this is just the motion to sign on behalf of Cat.
Yes, so this will allow for, it designates kind of towards the bottom, who will sign for contractual and who will sign for financial. And we keep those as titles because, you know, people change, but the titles remain the same. It's less coming before you. We can follow up with a form.
Make the motion to approve item number 11 as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed, motion carries. I'm going to, this proclamation declaring February 2025 as Fair Housing Month doesn't have anything to do with Cat and Langford, does it?
It does.
It does?
It is a fair
Okay,
housing.
all right. I was gonna move that so you didn't have to go sit down and come back up. But item number 12 then is to acknowledge the proclamation declaring February 2025 as Karnes County's Fair Housing Month.
Yes,
That's
it's
all
just
it
a
is.
proclamation, yeah.
Y'all want me to read the proclamation? Nah?
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody wants me to read it to you, come by my office after. Item number 13, discuss, approve, disapprove amendment number 1 for the Grant Administration Services contract for the Community Development Block Grant dash mitigation, CDBG-MIT, the method of distribution, MOD program contract number 24-065-115-E928.
Yes, so what the amendment is for is when we sign our contracts with the county, it's during application due to procurement reasons. You know, we have to be procured to help you. However, contract numbers are not available because you're not awarded yet. So what we like to do is bring the contract number forward as well as the official amount that is grant funded. So we have to meet milestones, and it's pretty transparent for us to reach all of those, but again, funded through the grant.
So this contract amount for 175,832 is a proportion of the grant, is that correct?
Correct. So it is, you were awarded $2,197,900, and it breaks up into engineering costs, construction, GA, environmental, which that one is GA and environmental because Langford covers both of those. So yes, all covered under the grant.
I think you already answered my other question. These fees can be paid for out of the grant funds?
Yep, yes,
It's a win-win.
pretty nice.
They're a pain to work with, but when we do finally get the grants done and funded, it's a wonderful thing. But I promise you, it is not fun doing these.
No, it's a lot.
I'll make a motion to approve item 13 as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, discuss, approve, disapprove amendment number 1 for the engineering services contract for the Community Development Block Grant dash mitigation, CDBG-MIT method of distribution, MOD program contract number 24-065-115-E928.
It's the same,
For
bringing that
engineering.
contract forward and the engineering cost listed before you.
First one was for grant, this one is for engineering services.
I think it's just important for public transparency. The contract amount is for $259,949.74, but as you previously stated, we can use the grant funds to pay for that, correct?
Agreed, yes.
Make the motion to approve item 14 is presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15 is to discuss, approve, disapprove Phase 1 environmental assessment. Kat, thank you so much for your presentation. If anybody has any questions, Kat, you going to stick around for a little bit, or are you on the road? Okay, all right. If anybody has questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll answer as many questions as I can, and if not, we'll get, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item number 15, discuss, approve, disapprove Phase 1 environmental assessment for 106 East Front Street, Runge, Texas, 78151. This is Commissioner Geisler. I appreciate him including me in working on this project and keeping me in the loop. That's a pretty awesome thing. So I appreciate Commissioner, first and foremost, for allowing me to be involved in this. Commissioner Geisler.
Absolutely, Judge, thank you. So this is a piece of property we purchased almost a year ago. We've got some plans and designs to come in and put a precinct service center there, kind of like what Falls City and Commissioner Lissy is doing over there. But in order to kick this off, I've been visiting with the judge and working with him. We need to get an environmental study done on this piece of property before we can move forward. It's taken this long because there's been quite a few liens on this property, so we had to wait until they were exhausted. And they're still not exhausted. It won't be for approximately another week. But in order to kind of hit the ground running, because we waited long enough for this, I wanted to go ahead and present this to the court and try to get this passed so we can move forward.
This is a piece of property that folks question sometimes whenever the court goes into executive session, and it can be a number of things. And this particular property was a tax foreclosure. And so the court went in, and obviously we don't want to come out here and be on open record saying, hey, we want to go and grab this piece of property. And somebody says, well, hey, we kind of want that property. We didn't even know it was available. And then you have folks bidding against you, running up the price, blah, blah, blah. This piece of property was owned by an oil service company of some kind. Whatever reason, they went bankrupt, they got out of town, whatever, but it's got some junk on it, I would say.
Yeah,
And
it's got some older buildings that have been kind of gutted, I guess, and stripped of its internal.
anything that was there, anything that they could try to sell, but.
And then we've got some cleanup to do on it as well. But before any of that happens, we need to do the environmental study to see if it's
If
feasible.
there's contamination or anything like that
Correct.
before moving forward. So
Correct.
we don't dump a bunch of money into something that, we've got some environmental problems, so.
Correct.
Thank you again, Commissioner Geisler.
Mr. Geisler, will this assessment verify there are no easements through the property? I did a Google Earth.
What was that?
Will this assessment verify there aren't any easements that are going through the property?
No, this is just an environmental assessment.
Okay. Will there be any soil testing or anything like that?
I can't.
Will there be any soil testing? Or is it just
If the environmental assessment comes back and determines that it needs to have further testing, absolutely, yes.
For the record, this is $3,600, and is that correct?
Yes.
That's reading here?
$3,600, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I will move that we approve item number 15, Phase 1 Environmental Assessment for 106 East Front Street in Runge, Texas.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed to it? No. Motion carries. Item number 16. Discuss, approve, disapprove amending permit fee for county road entrance. Commissioner Beatrick.
Right. So I went from office to office when I first started, and I started asking people, is there anything on your radar that I need to look at? And I stopped in at special permits, and Mr. Adams brought up to me his feelings about the entry fees or the permits for constructing new entryways off of a county road. Currently, we charge $500 for a permit, whether it's residential or commercial. He felt like that was kind of excessive, especially because the county does not share in any of this cost. It is up to the landowner to purchase all the materials for this and hire a contractor to pave it. Because if the county road's already paved, you have to pave your entryway as well. I stopped by TxDOT and I spoke with them there. They don't charge any fees for their entryways. The reasoning they offer is, we want to encourage people to come in and get a permit because we want to know that they're doing it so we can go out and make sure that it was done properly afterwards. And so I believe that by removing this permit, we're removing that excess burden on our landowners, and we're going to encourage them to go ahead and come in and get the permits so we can make sure that we have proper water flow down our county roads.
Commissioner,
Yes, sir.
I think we voted on this a few years ago to put it in place. And my opinion on that is to leave it where it is, because the $500 permit fee, when you put in an entrance, an approach against any county road, it gives the county more work, because the county has, if you're blading the road or you're doing anything like that, you're shredding the road, you have to stop, go around and everything. So my opinion on this, if we just put it in there a few years ago, I think we should leave it, because we've done it, say, for 3 years. So 3 years we've been charging people, and then we're gonna cut it back down. It's gonna look like they can't come back and say, well, y'all did it for 3 years, and then y'all change y'all's mind in 3 years. So my opinion is just leave it where it's at. If anything, on a commercial, maybe go up to 1,000 and residential 500.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
'cause
If
if it-
anything, go, not after the commercial folks, but, if an oil field company's coming in and they're wanting to put in an entrance, then, I don't believe that's fair
No.
to our taxpayers that, well, they're coming in and, they're bringing, everything that comes with that, and they're paying the same permit fee that we have to pay. I could see something like that going forward. There are very specific guidelines that residential or commercial have to use, and those are set. They have to have a minimum of an 18-inch culvert. They've got to be a minimum of 30 feet wide. They have 6-1 set slopes at both ends. They have to have a physical address. They have to have 400 foot of space between neighboring culverts, and the entry must be paved if the county road is paved. And so all of that is laid out, in black and white. So I agree with Commissioner Rosales. If anything, increase the commercial.
We can revisit that and put it back on the agenda.
For sure.
I agree with the judge. I think we ought to leave it the way it is. And Commissioner Rosales, and up the price for commercial to $1,000.
So we can make that another,
I would second what y'all were saying.
okay. Item number 16 will die for lack of a motion. Item number 17, discuss, approve, disapprove standard form of agreement between owner, Karnes County, and construction manager, Weaver and Jacobs Constructors Incorporated, as the constructor for the EMS Administration and Training Center project, and allow the county judge, myself, to execute agreement on behalf of Karnes County. Casey.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We are moving right along with our project there in Kennedy for the EMS Administration and Training Center. As the court will recall, and for the public's information, a couple months back, we had advertised requests for proposals for construction manager at risk. Being the procurement method that we elected to go for with this project, we had 2 submittals, and we chose Weaver and Jacobs Constructors as the construction manager at risk. So we had a quick kickoff meeting with William Berger, who's a principal architect with RMA, of which we are affiliated with for this project, as well as Brian Jacobs, who's the owner of Weaver and Jacobs, last week. The intent of that meeting was kind of just discuss expectations and next steps moving forward. The next step being what you have before you today. So the standard AIA agreement with the construction manager at risk being Weaver and Jacobs, and us being the owner of Karnes County, with RMA Architects being the architect for the project. A couple of points to note for, again, transparency and for your information prior to hopefully approving, is the pre-construction fixed cost is going to be $27,500. So the pre-construction process that Weaver and Jacobs would do for us, if this is approved, would be all of the review and cost estimations for the design development phase, schematic design, as well as the construction documents phase. So we're done with schematic design. We're just wrapping up design development. We're going into construction documents. So as we discussed in the RFP process, the added value that CMAR brings to a job like this is you have this construction manager involved in the construction documents phase, where they're giving you factual, accurate information when it comes to cost proposals. So basically at a 10,000-foot level, if this is executed today and moving forward, Weaver and Jacobs will provide their first cost estimate. It's going to be super conservative. It's going to kind of be just a worst-case scenario estimate on the project. As we get further down, they're actively engaged with the design team at RMA and all their sub-consultant engineering firms to try and get that price as close to as accurate as possible to where when it comes to bid day, when Weaver and Jacobs solicits the bids for all the subs to come in and say, what is this project going to cost, we should be within a margin of less than 1%. When all the bids come in, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing what the agreement before you is, when all the bids come in, then the CMAR, in this case Weaver and Jacobs, will provide a guaranteed maximum price. We, as the owner, will go before Weaver and Jacobs to negotiate whether or not we want to accept that guaranteed maximum price. The beauty of CMAR is that once that GMP is agreed upon, it's set. So anything above that is on the burden of the contractor. Now, granted, if we as the owner come in and say, oh, we want to put granite all over the side of the building, we want to get imported tile, et cetera, that obviously is a change order. We absorb that cost. We then violate the GMP, right? But in this case, if we agree upon a GMP, anything above that, the contractor eats. The beautiful thing is if the project comes in under budget, any savings that's less than a GMP is remitted back to the owner. So the owner gets that 100% of those savings. If, for whatever reason, prior to agreeing upon the GMP, we as the owner, Karnes County, cannot agree with Weaver and Jacobs on that GMP, we can terminate the agreement within 7 days, written notice, no harm, no foul. We just won't proceed with the project. If we agree upon it, then we will provide a notice to proceed. The court will approve that, and then we'll start the construction project. So at a very high level, that's what the document before you states. Mrs. Tapia at the county attorney's office reviewed it as when the RFP, because the draft document that you have before you was attached to that along with the general conditions, as well as we reviewed this document with the fee structure. One thing I did omit, so the fixed fee for construction, pre-construction services is $27,500. Weaver and Jacobs for construction services, if we again agree upon the GMP and we provide a notice to proceed, the fixed fee for construction fee is 4.6%. That 4.6% is included in the guaranteed maximum price. So it's 4.66% of the total construction cost of the project. And was advertised in RFP, the budget, the owner's budget for that is not to exceed 3.5 million is a tentative number we have identified in our budget. But again, once we get the cost estimates back from Weaver and Jacobs, we'll be discussing that as we continue to engage moving into the construction documents phase. Happy to answer any questions.
Casey and I have been working hand in hand with both of these companies, and we met Friday, whenever we had a good long visit. And
I believe so.
The court and the public are aware of the struggles that we've had with the building across the sidewalk there for years. What we're currently experiencing with the jail, and I'm extremely happy with the way that we're going through this to prevent that, hopefully in the future. We're going to take every step of precaution to make sure that everything that we do is going to be above reproach. And if we have an earthquake, Lord knows we have the earthquakes in Karnes County, we get them. But something outside of that, we will have done our due diligence to make sure this is a quality product and a quality project.
Correct. Yeah, we've been very pleased with RMA and all their sub-consultants team. The two owner responsibilities, one being a geotechnical engineering services, of which the court's approved, and the studies have been done and performed, and results have been given to the consultants. Their structural engineer, the MEP engineer, their civil engineer, all the team that's engaged, very confident in their ability to do that. Weaver and Jacobs comes highly recommended, as Commissioner Viatric, prior to him taking office, participated in that scoring, as well as Judge Hedke. They have a very good track record. They're a very reputable company. Mr. Jacobs seemed very well-informed when we sat down last week. So we feel very confident in their ability to provide a good quality product on time and under budget. So happy to answer any additional questions.
So we're just approving the form, the contract, so once it gets filled out and the terms are agreed upon, is it going to come back to us here?
So this is this kicks the ball into motion. So this is the first piece. So if we approve this document today, we are now in agreement with Weaver and Jacobs as a CMAR. And then they will start to provide all the pre-construction services as detailed within here. So the cost estimation, the starting to look at procurement plans, and getting closer to getting that GMP. And so we have no obligation to build the project until we come back to the court to say, okay, here's the GMP, the guaranteed maximum price.
Right.
Do we agree upon this? If yes, then we'll provide a notice to proceed, which will require additional approval. And then that's when we're officially breaking ground and in the project. So though this agreement, again, we're committing to Weaver and Jacobs that we want to use their services as a CMAR. As with any good contract, there's always a clause to get out of it. And so again, a 7-day written notice is what the clause is here if we can't agree upon the GMP when that time comes. And we're probably looking, I'm not going to speak for them, but tentatively, I believe within the next probably 3 to 4 months, we'll have some upcoming meetings and start to kind of hone in that GMP. And once we get to probably summertime, we'll have a guaranteed maximum price. And hopefully, it is our intention to agree upon that and start construction prior to the start of the new next fiscal year. Again, high-level overview, but you're kind of forecasting some steps. Good question, though, Commissioner. Thank you.
Casey, the document I was presented has a lot of to be determines in them.
Yes, sir.
And it says it's for the year 2024. It says the construction manager is to be determined. The owner's program project is to be determined. Lots of to be determined.
Yes, sir.
Construction manager fees to be determined. And you've provided me a lot of that information already today, like the 4.6% and the 27,500. Is that going to be added to this before we sign it?
Yes, sir, and I apologize for that. So the one that I had in Civic Plus, which I have before you today, is the draft document that was in the RFP. The finalized version, I did not recirculate to the court, and I apologize for that. But just, again, to state some of that on the first page, owner being Karnes County, Texas, construction manager being Weaver and Jacobs Incorporated, the project being Karnes County EMS Administration and Training Center, architect being Raleigh McCoy Associates out of Victoria, and then the two additional, the project price, or excuse me, the project owner's project budget, 3.5 million. And then all the sub-consultants that have already been engaged are also listed in there. And then the $2 amounts I provided you, 27,500 and 4.66%. I sincerely apologize for that. Thank you, though, for mentioning it.
Any other discussion from the court? Action item, we need a motion.
I'll make the motion for to approve item number 17 as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Court. And Judge, I have an original that I'll get your signature.
Yep. Commissioner Rosales, I believe, got in just before Commissioner Lacey.
Let's second it.
He got the motion. Commissioner Geisler got the second.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you, Casey. Item number 18 is to discuss, approve, disapprove travel out of state to attend the fiscal year 2025 budget approved election center workshop and courses to be held in Little Rock, Arkansas on February 26th through March 2nd, 2025, and in Raleigh, North Carolina on March 27th and 28th, 2025 for the elections registration administrators certification, I'm sorry. Beth sent me an email and I was like, Beth, you've got money in your budget for, for conference and stuff. And she said, it's out of state. It's out of state. And I said, okay, all right. So
Yes.
that's why this is on the agenda.
So we had got, thank you, Judge and Court. We had gotten this approved for our budget for this year, but it's per the county policy that when it's travel out of state, that I have to take it to Commissioner's Court for that
Court approval.
traveling out of state. So, and so like it says also, this is for what I've been working for is my CIRA, the certification. And so I'm a little over halfway there, but it does require out-of-state travel for three different workshops, conference, and classes. So, and the others I'm taking online.
Beth does an incredible job, folks, with our elections department. If you don't work an election or work around an election, you have no idea the amount of time, resources, and it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And so I appreciate Beth and all that she does. while we're on the subject of elections, if anybody's looking to have a part-time job or volunteer, elections needs volunteers,
Election workers.
paid volunteers. So pass that around. We will have some elections coming up that we're going to need those. And, you know, we hear people talk about, well, I want to have a polling location here, right next to me. Folks, if we don't have people to work those, we can't have it. So encourage your people that you talk to
And they get
think
paid.
about volunteering.
And they get paid. So this, and also this certification, it does give me the tools. And yes, the Secretary of State gives our annual election law seminar that educates us on the law. But this is actually specific nationwide certification that they focus for just the election administrators for the tools and trainings that are needed to run the office.
Any other discussion, questions?
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve item number 18 is presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Beth.
I just wanted to let Commissioner Biagi know, Commissioner Geisler, why Beth is up here. So we adopted the travel policy that Guadalupe had in place, and it was prudent for court to know if any of our department heads travel out of state, and y'all are basically, but that's the reason why she's up here, because she's the first one that's gone out of state since we've adopted the policy.
I'm traveling to Lubbock next month, and I feel like that's out of state.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Item number 19, discuss, approve, disapprove, extending project 20240417-001 to May 31st, 2025 for the modification to the Karnes County Road and Bridge Shop Facility. CNC Custom Construction are the contractors on this project. Commissioner Rosales.
Good morning. I was at Road and Bridge. I went and checked out CNC's job and all that. They're doing a good job. It just, when I was looking at it, it was clearly that they weren't going to finish on the date that we had given them first. So I spoke with Caesar, which is CNC Custom Constructions, and I told him, we're gonna have to work on this. Are you going to finish? He said, no, we're not going to finish on the date. And I told him, okay, we can give you an extension, but I have to take it to court. So that's why we're here today. I asked him on the time frame that he needed, and he said if he could please have till May the 31st. I said, fine, I'll take it to court. I go, but give us an explanation why you aren't finished this time on time. So he gave me this. Can I read this out, Judge?
Please.
Okay. To Karnes County Commissioners Court Road and Bridge from CNC Custom Constructions LLC. I am writing to respectfully request an extension. Better put my old man glasses on. I'm sorry. The completion of Karnes County Road and Bridge shop modifications due to unforeseen circumstances, unexpected challenges, additional work and equipment needed, weather delays and material back order issues. I am requesting the time to be extended to May the 31st, 2025. Some of the unexpected challenges, if you may ask, are when you're a contractor and you bid on breaking up concrete, usually any kind of approach is 3.5 inches, but this was like 18 to 20 inches. So that took a lot more work and time to take that out. But that is a mistake of contractors. We make that all the time sometimes. Okay. This is back to him. I am confident that with this requested extension, I can deliver the project on time and to expected quality. A, weather conditions have affected project time greatly. For the safety of employees, we have been delayed due to rain, sleet, and snow. B, high winds have delayed sheet metal installation and removal, as well as being able to operate equipment at high levels. C, delays in material deliveries and back order on R panel for walls, as well as trim being a special order component. D, the unexpected challenges of breaking out concrete aprons that are typically 4 to 5 inches in depth were discovered to be 24 to 36 inches in depth, requiring additional work and specialty equipment to achieve the job. E, modifications to existing concrete to accommodate new garage doors, added additional work and equipment due to the depth of the concrete. F, delays due to metal building modifications on the on-site remodifications to accommodate purling I-beams. These items were discovered upon removal of existing sheet metal and wind ties. Thank you. Caesar. And that's all I have about that, but I do believe that he needs that extension till May the 31st, so he can finish a road and bridge building as we want.
I had some concerns. Obviously, the court knows, most of the court knows, and the public knows that I didn't agree with this and still don't. But as Commissioner Rosales, I had heard some concerns from within the Road and Bridge Department about this project and about some things that had potentially happened. And I appreciate you researching those and getting back to me on those. Delays due to metal building modifications and on-site remodifications to accommodate purlin and I-beams. So I appreciate Commissioner Rosales looking into those.
Sir.
Ready?
I would like to make a motion to approve item number 19 as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? I'm opposed to it, but motion carries. Item number 20 is our consent agenda. We have reports from our Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, 3, and 4, our Elections Department, Constable Precinct 1 and Constable Precinct 3, and our DMV. We also have a budget amendment, BA 2025-05. Tom, I think that's about $7,000 for.
Yes, sir. That was monies that were brought in for EMTF at the end of last year, and court agreed in September to defer that money to this year. So $7,032.82.
7,000 what?
Sir?
7,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. $7,032.82. And that's budget amendment 2025-05.
Thank you.
Which is phenomenal. We've only had 5 budget amendments this year.
Make the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We need to discuss any items from the consent agenda to consider and act on. If not, we'll have our updates from our commissioners, starting with Commissioner Beatrick.
All right. Did my best to stay busy. I dropped in on Road and Bridge for their weekly meeting, and we discussed their ongoing projects. I had a meeting with several members of the San Antonio Food Bank to work on improving the distribution they host in Karnes County. I've been working with the clerk's office to gather more information on existing interlocal agreements, along with contracts the county has with contractors and companies. The Extension Office asked me to give them my input on their 2015 F-250, and because they want to get it ready for their incoming extension agent. Since it had been sitting for a few years, I had to replace the batteries so it could be driven and evaluated. I then provided the Extension Office with my recommendations of work to be performed. Because I was concerned about the missing county laptop that was brought up previously, I stopped by the sheriff's office and filed a report and requested their assistance in recovering it. I volunteered at the food bank distribution on the 3rd. I met with TxDOT to discuss their entryway policies. I drove several county roads and reported to TxDOT concerns with the road surfaces in their right-of-way at the intersections of County Road 167 and 626, 183 and 626, and 188 and 1353. I talked to Ms. Morales from Camino about the services they provide for the county. I joined with several members of Road and Bridge to complete the flagging operations training, so if y'all see me out there, I know how to do it now. I met with the SA River Authority, new government affairs specialist, to discuss the new hazardous waste disposal on April 12th. That'll be at the county showgrounds again. We also discussed the rehabilitation of flood control dams 1, 4, and 12, along with plans for stage 2 of the Escondido Parkway expansion. I assisted Representative Guillen with the distribution of 80 laptops that AT&T donated to Karnes County schools. 25 of those went to Kennedy ISD. I attended the Kennedy Education Foundation designer purse bingo, but I didn't win. I spent the weekend reviewing the bills list, contracts, and reports in the agenda packet, and I met with KCPD and Kennedy PD to discuss their SRO programs.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Precinct 2.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank all of our county employees. And last week, like I stated earlier, Commissioner Geisler and I toured the jail with Sheriff Bailey, went over the problems with the body cameras and the car cameras and the radios, and told us about the equipment being out of date and unable to be updated. Some of them because of, they're just obsolete, and at the end of their equipment life. County Road 254 design is finished, and construction should start this week as soon as the contractor gets their bonding requirements met. Met with some citizens on County Road 197 about entrance and spoke to special projects and got the problem resolved. Met with the TxDOT area engineer about intersection at County Road 388 and State Highway 791, and he said he would see that it was put on their work order. Met with citizens on County Road 256. There's a well being fracked in that area. Sand trucks are being staged on County Road 256 on a well pad site and have destroyed the road. We'll have to work on that road after the fracking is completed. There's no use in doing it until then. And Commissioner Rosales and myself have been going to Road and Bridge every morning at 7 a.m., being there for their morning briefings. I've been in contact with Road and Bridge all day long. Road and Bridge is doing a good job. Our Road and Bridge engineer, Mr. Geisler, has put together a good team, and I'd like to thank him for the good job that he's done with that. Was invited by State Representative Gim to be here at the courthouse for the donation of the computers by AT&T to the schools, which Commissioner Beatrice talked about. That was a pretty nice deal. In conclusion, I would say thanks and God bless America.
Touch on those computers. I would have loved to have been there, but I received notification too late to actually post a potential notice of quorum. And I got that notice not from Representative Guillen, but from another individual, and that's why I was not there. I want the public to know. I would have loved to have been there, but I was not provided enough time to post that notice of quorum. And but I did talk to Representative Guillen, and I thanked him personally for those computers. Wonderful, wonderful thing. Commissioner Rosales.
Good morning again. I'm going to read out something that I wrote yesterday, and then I'll read out a report. I've been going to Road and Bridge every day, and I've been working with everyone there on different projects. Everyone at Road and Bridge has been doing an outstanding job. It has been a minute since I spent so much time at Road and Bridge. One thing I can say is they're a great team, and from what I have seen, they all know exactly what they are doing at their jobs. Thank you, Homer, for your excellent leadership. I want to thank Monica for her outstanding performance as an office manager. Also, everyone else does an amazing job, and they all keep busy. I go in there in the mornings, and they're all scattering around, getting their stuff ready, getting their vehicles. By the time I turn around, half of them are gone. I turn around again, the other half are gone. And, you know, I sit there and I meet with the heads. Homer, I just want to tell you thank you for the amazing job and the amazing team that y'all have there. They're a good team. And not that I don't ever go to Road and Bridge, but I have been spending every day there back and forth. And these guys are amazing. They do a great job, and they do all keep busy. And I'm asking for a lot of things there, just to see things. And Homer usually and Monica get it to me right away. Ray, Ronnie, you know, all of them, Benito, they all give me whatever I'm asking for. Basically, what I'm asking for is just where all the guys are working every day, what they're doing every day, where the contractors are. So I'm going to give you a little report that Homer gave me this morning on the contractors that we have hired. BRM, they're on County Road 176, Precinct 1. CK Newberry, they're on County Road 384, Precinct 3. County Road 264, Precinct 2. ABNM, they're on County Road 182, Precinct 1. County Road 181, Precinct 1. County Road 175, Precinct 1. County Road 290, Precinct 3, County Road 266, Precinct 3. SD Reyes is on County Road 160, Precinct 1, County Road 228, Precinct 2. The roads to be paved as soon as the weather warms up is County Road 130, Precinct 1, County Road 311, 312, 313, 314, 335, 336, Precinct 4. In-house work that we're doing right now, besides all your normal maintenance on that, all that is County Road 246, 357, and County Road 362. We did the oil, so we're about to pave that one. Hopefully, maybe sometime today or by this week should be paved. And that's all, that's in-house. Thank you.
Commissioner Geisler.
So as Commissioner Lissy stated earlier, I toured the jail. I'd like to thank the sheriff for making us welcome and showing us everything. There was a lot of stuff that goes on in there, and they're doing a lot of good, and they're building something pretty good over there, pretty special. So thanks, Sheriff. Appreciate the invitation there. As Commissioner Rosales stated, 314, 335, and 336 are all waiting for warmer weather to be paved. County roads 104 and 107 are being evaluated for drainage issues. I know 107 is a point of contention there. County Road 331 is in design. I would like to also reiterate what the other commissioners stated about the computers to the 80 laptops that were donated. That was a really neat thing to be a part of, and it's going to really change some kids' lives. So, Judge, that's all I have today.
Thank you. Item number 23, reports from our tax assessor, collector, our auditor, and our treasurer. Tammy, you're up first.
Good morning. How's everybody today? For the month of January, for our current month to date, we collected $12,689,138.47. The current year to date was $19,372,273.20. That was 90.44% collected. Last year at this time, we collected 89.79%, so we're about par. And I sent Michelle another collection report that we printed out on February the 6th. A lot of the mail that we received was post-dated in January, so we had to use the January date. On February the 6th, the percentage we collected was 95.60%. It was a total of, that just shows for the month of February.
20 million.
It was $20,477,826.06. This morning when I left the office, it was up to 96.55%. Yesterday in the mail, I did receive 2 items that had a January postmark on it. For the delinquent month to date on the Karnes County M&O, it was $239,344.05. The delinquent year to date was $298,284.31 with 0.28% collected. Remember all this corrected 2023 tax statements that we mailed out in December? That's why the numbers are looking kind of funny there. On the county INS, the delinquent month to date was $12.70. The delinquent year to date was $24.58 with 0.18% collected. On the road and bridge, the current was $2,164,462.48. The current year to date was $3,303,826.36 with 90.45% collected. The delinquent month to date was $38,731.14. The delinquent year to date was $49,058.76 with 1.19% collected. Any questions? On the top 100 that I sent out, there's
3, 4, 5.
number 20 has not paid. The first 19 have already paid. And there's I think the judge said there's 5 that haven't paid yet out of the top 100 on the county M&O report.
Thank you, Tammy.
It's looking really good.
Yep. Thank you. Tom.
All right, Court, y'all have my summary sheet. So The ad valorem taxes that we received in last month were up to date as the end of January were $12,345,379.34, which means we received 92.82%. Our county sales tax was $935,877.10, which received 14.86%. Interest we've earned, and this is on the general fund, $972,218.84, which is 49.01%. EMS receipts, $538,634.20, which is 45.84% received. Then tax office fees of $188,032, which is 39.59% received. So we should be targeting 1/3 of the year. We're 4 months into the year, so we've already received 48% of our revenues for the general fund. Our expenses, we've only spent 18%, so we still got 82% remaining. Road and bridge, their ad valorem taxes were $7,419,267.36, which is 82.81%. No right-of-way royalties received yet. Interest is $312,452.79, which is 26.37%. Oil and gas leases, $1,150,009.49, which is 115%. And then other sources of their revenues, $174,922.93, which is 1.1%. So their revenues received about 32%, so they're still about 68% remaining. Total received is $3,847,419.59. Their expenses are $2,464,055.54, which they've spent about 13% of their budget. And once again, the target's 1/3. So we're doing good overall countywide. Our non-court bills, which is the last page of my report, were $8,937,395.83, the majority of that being GEO. $7,236,200.48. We had 3 payrolls, so that's $936,133.25. Payroll taxes, insurance, retirement, $675,959.34. Utility bills, $25,833.95, and the other items mostly were comptroller quarterly payments. We have to reimburse the comptroller for monies that we bring in that we hold in trust for them. That was $63,268.81. Our investments, the total at the end of January, $105,325,063.96. We went up to $12.5 million this last month in investments. Our Texas class was $39,471,356.96. Tax pool, $34,679,56.75, and multi-bank was $31,182,750.25.
You're interested in starting a good business, private prisons, $7 million a month. Tyler, you should open one.
Good morning,
Vida.
everyone. Balance as of December 2024, $95,039,402.45. Receipts for the month of January 2025, $55,404,219.38. Disbursements for the same time frame, $43,430,979.18. For balance as of January 2025, drum roll please, $107,012,642.65.
I think that's the first time we broke the 100.
No, we broke it last year.
we?
Yeah, like 101, and then went back
Crazy, crazy,
to like
crazy.
95 million on average. Yes, considering we had maybe 10 when I started 17 years ago, so.
Item number 24, discuss/action regarding the treasurer's report.
Make the motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor, right hand, anybody opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Vida. Item number 25, discuss/acknowledgement of personnel changes, reporting by all departments on any changes in respective departments. We have some new hires, new patrol deputy. We have a new sheriff's department data tech and a jail admin assistant. And no promotions, transfers, or reassignments. We did have one resignation termination in the SO. Again, no retirements. We are currently hiring Karnes Wilson Juvenile Probation Department, multiple positions. So if you're looking for a job, go talk to Melissa over there, an attendance specialist, behavioral specialist, case manager, QMHP, HHSC admin with the part-time position, another prevention specialist, a ropes facilitator. Sheriff's Department is looking for detention officers. Those are jailers as well as patrol deputies. Courthouse security is still open. I do have wonderful news on that front. I do have one that we will be, where's Elaine? Back there? Yeah, we're going to extend an offer, so we've got part of that fixed, save some money. This report is current as of Feb 4, so last week, so I'll have that for y'all next week. And item number 26, payment of bills. Got your bills in front of you.
All right, Court, the bills were $490,565.46, which majority of them is road and bridge of $431,276.69. I asked Mr. Rios to come, and he's doing a phenomenal job over there. If there's any questions on any of his bills, but nothing looked out of the ordinary. He reviews them, then I sign them after he reviews them per county attorney's direction.
I'll make the motion to approve payment of the bills as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 27, acknowledge that, listen up, folks, Commissioners Court will attend a mandatory discrimination and harassment training immediately upon the termination of our regular court meeting, which is this one. And it's going to be held in the Karnes County Multipurpose Room at 210 West Calvert, Suite 150, Karnes City, Texas, 78118. Elaine, you don't need to speak on anything other than that. So that is a countywide mandatory. Item number 28, acknowledge Commissioners Court will meet on February 25th, 2025 at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Karnes County Multipurpose Room located at 210 West Calvert, Suite 150, Karnes City, Texas, 78118. Keep an eye on that agenda. We have something pretty special coming up that I'm extremely proud of. Item number 29 is the motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you all.